everybody. Welcome back to the podcast on The Reel. Today we're back in the studio, and we got a special guest today. We got Kayla Windsor in the podcast room, in the bay, in the studio, on the table. What's going on? Welcome. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I was super nervous. So.
First podcast. It's okay.
Yes.
We'll roll right into it, and it'll be smooth sailing from there. So tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you do, kind of that jazz, and go from there.
Yeah. I'm born and raised in Arizona. Still here. I consider myself a camera operator. Nice. In the film industry, but I do all things camera department, AC, most of the time, and then media managing and stuff like that.
Heck yeah. So did you learn, what did you learn? Did you go to school for any of this? Did you self-taught?
I'm mostly self-taught. Nice. I went to school, but when I went to school at NAU, I went for screenwriting. Interesting. And I started really, really young in photography. So that's kind of how I started. And then I went into shooting my friends who were actually musicians, and I would shoot them on stage, and then they grew. So we went to festivals, and then I went on tour and things like that. Nice. When I was on tour, I saw somebody with a jib in the crowd, and I was like, I'm going to switch to video. So I learned video from that.
Heck yeah.
And then when I went to NAU, I actually had a terrible time there.
Oh,
so that's why I consider myself mostly self-taught, because I didn't go to a good film school at all. So yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, that's how it started.
I did photography too. I loved it. Now that I look at it, it's a lot easier to do than it is video, but it's a lot more fun to do video.
It's so much more fun to do video.
So much more. So that's cool. You saw a jib. The jib was your like, ah.
Yeah, I was like, what is that guy doing, and how do I do it?
How do I do that?
Yeah.
Sick.
I want to swing that around.
It's always the actual equipment that gets people into video.
It is cool.
It's always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so intriguing. When the first time I saw how gimbal worked, I was just like, wait, what?
Huh? Yeah, no, it's always been a lot of fun. Obviously, that's what we do here. So we love our jibs. Jibbing. Yeah. What do we call it?
Big jib?
No, not big jib.
Jib
freaking
jobs.
Jib
jobs.
No, what does
jobs.
our shirt say?
Crane Cowboys?
Crane Cowboys.
Oh, that's a good
Crane
one.
Cowboys.
Yeah, Crane Cowboys.
We did coin that one maybe, but so that's cool. So you did festivals and music. Was it mainly like EDM and like that kind of side of it, or was it like rock and pop or whatever was it?
When I first started, all my friends were into metal, so I did a lot of metal shows.
Whoa!
Yeah.
So like hardcore.
Hardcore. Yeah.
What did you think about that? You like that stuff?
I loved it back when I was younger, but then we switched into EDM. So all my friends, instead of being into metal, became DJs.
Wait, they went from metal to DJs?
Yeah, it was actually hard style.
Okay, so like Pierce.
Pretty similar.
Pierce is kind of like
He's like hard style, isn't he?
hard style.
Pierce is watching. He's like, do they know my music? Do they know my music?
Pierce is a DJ friend of ours that is in the industry now. So, so that's cool. So they switched from metal, and then you went to EDM. So how did your style of shooting, did it change from metal to EDM?
Not necessarily.
No,
because it's all the same thing. It's live shows with the same lightings.
And that was all photography and stuff.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you kept the same style.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Basic.
That's fun. Yeah. And then from the jib, you were like, hey, I'm taking photos. I saw the jib. And you're like, how do I do that? Mm-hmm. From there, what'd you do?
So I would just like record them instead of taking photos.
So you just switched it to the video mode.
And then that's how I figured out like timing with the lights and stuff, and then how to direct the crowd more so, because you have to bring the direct them instead of just capturing moments. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that really taught me a lot. Just being able to be on stage and like be backstage, all access, and in the crowd and all these things was how I self-taught myself.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Did you ever get caught in the pit at a metal show?
I did,
That's a good question.
Yeah.
We almost got knocked out.
We went to the SK concert.
You know Scary Kids?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know them?
No, I actually never shot them before, but I would go to their shows when I was younger. So when you guys did their music video, I was like, oh, I wish I was there.
Oh, sick. Dang, we should have had you on.
I know. I mean, we're just meeting today, so.
Yeah, true.
We'll
have a next one.
We were just out there showing. It was like Brandon or Colby was like next to me, and I was like setting up for like a photo right when the set started. And then next thing I
It
know,
was Chance and I.
we just got like pile driven by the crowd, and like a margarita like went across our faces,
Oh,
and we're
God.
just
Like right away.
no.
We've never been, and
We're in the pit.
It was the first drop.
Yeah.
It was the first drop, and
Boom.
all of a sudden, Chance's fresh drink is all over.
No.
It's everywhere, and I got thrown into it real fast,
you just
and I had
got
to get out.
you just got these
wasn't ready.
five goofballs standing here. We've never been to like one of these shows before,
Right.
but we've been talking to them for months and shooting all their content.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But it's totally different when they're on stage, right?
is,
You know,
yeah.
it's a different vibe, especially when all the people that know them, they're like, okay, we didn't expect it. We're
It is
sitting there.
kind of weird that they started it out
Oh
that
my
way.
god! Boom! Straight off the
kinda
wrist,
weird. Right off
pushing
the
each
rip.
other.
Like they had been waiting.
And we're like, I don't know. This is crazy. I was laughing all the time. I thought it was suspect. I thought it was entertaining as shit.
Maybe
They
it
were
was
awesome.
pent up energy from like finally being able to
I
go
think
to a
so.
show
That's
again.
exactly
You know,
what it was.
they're like just
And
right
And
off the
Scary
bat.
Kids hasn't come back for what, 10 years? So
Yeah,
that may have been.
that might have been why.
They were getting super excited, but they were super fun to watch. It was actually really sick.
Yeah, they're super cool back in the
super
day.
cool.
That was
So-
the last. So then how did you transition from the music side of things and like filming festivals and stuff? Because I feel like a lot of people do get down that
It's either
path.
weddings or it's
how did you
shows.
transition from there off to like more of like the commercial side of things?
I just like decided one day that I wasn't gonna really benefit from the music industry anymore.
Right.
It was a lot of egos, a lot of like political issues, especially at the time that I was doing it. This was like 2010-ish to 2014 was when I finally decided to stop. So I just like, once I graduated from NIU in 2014, I just Googled like Phoenix production.
Oh, really?
And I found the Arizona Production Association. So I called them and I was like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, what do I do?
Right.
And they actually were having a job fair
Nice.
type of thing where it was like speed dating, but for all the production companies in town. So you
Right.
only got like 3 minutes and they'd ring a bell and then you would move to the next table.
That's pretty fun.
Which they haven't done since
they
then.
haven't.
So it was like perfect timing for me. And I went to this place, didn't know anybody or anything, and I sat at all these tables and nobody really was hiring.
Right.
They were just like kind of
They're just
teaching
playing.
you
Yeah.
how to do it. And there was one table that had a line the entire time. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna get a job with them. And
Do you know who it was?
yeah. I don't want
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I don't want to tell
fine,
you.
that's fine. So
but
extremely long line. Everybody else was pretty basic.
yeah.
And so what did
So
you
I
do?
went to everybody else thinking I wasn't going to get a job at this place.
Okay.
And I kind of like got kicked off of one of the tables because he was like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. And I was like, okay.
What the
And it was weird. And I was
Come on, Will Smith, that dude. Oh, too soon.
Oh,
too soon.
I'm getting canceled again, dude. Bye.
Sean's always getting canceled somewhere.
I get canceled all the time too. Don't you worry.
No, that's
Yeah, so he was just like not having it. So I got up, and that table who had a line the whole time didn't have anybody at it. So I sat down, and especially after getting kicked off that table, I was like, man, I don't know what I'm doing.
so you just
So-
got it just kind of crushed you for that.
Yeah,
moment.
so when I sat down at that table, I literally was like, I don't know what to do.
That's frustrating.
Yeah, and he was like, well, do you want to start tomorrow?
Oh,
And so I got a PA internship for 6 weeks on that guy's show.
Okay.
And then ever since then, it's been word of mouth.
nice.
Yeah,
That's
so-
the best way to do it.
I was very lucky with that.
So you got on that show. What did you do on the show? Did you have someone you were always kind of shadowing? Oh, there you go.
Kind of, yeah. It was a bigger show in town, so we had like a majority of all of the Arizona crew on it.
Nice.
And we had a big like production assistant crew too. So I followed the key set production
Nice.
assistant for 6 weeks, and then after that, I actually was told that like you're supposed to be paid after like 3 days.
Didn't happen for like 6
I
months.
worked for them for 6 weeks for free, you know. But you know, you kind of have to like make those sacrifices in order to get in.
I
And
get it.
Yeah.
But that's
That
still
was like
when
the-
they tell you though.
Didn't we
and
have
you
a
don't
similar
get it.
story on
Jason
yeah, Jason
Severs, he was working something, and then they were
The
like,
same thing happened.
do you need to get paid? And it's
Is that like a known?
what?
Is that like a known thing to take advantage of new people?
I think our industry is just
absolutely.
known for that. Like, would they just take? They're like the most. They take advantage of us like crazy.
100%.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's
It's-
even moments on that show where they were like, we need to bring more PAs in. And I was like,
How? You can't
you
even pay
know.
for us.
yeah. So they brought more PAs in and paid them and like didn't pay me.
This industry, man.
Never again.
Yeah.
Never again.
You know,
I don't understand it. I really don't.
I don't understand it either.
yeah.
It's so okay. So you did that. What did you learn the most when you were there for 6 weeks?
I mean, I didn't even know what a C-stand was when I
Well,
first
that's
started.
awesome. So
Yeah.
right off the rip. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I learned a lot from everybody,
Nice.
and they were really open about like telling people what you want to do and like sticking to that department a little bit.
Nice.
So I told them camera, obviously, because I had been camera operating for 5 years before I became a PA.
So you stuck around that crowd the most.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So they were pretty open about it. It was a really chill job. So we had a lot of time for them to like show me how to build the gear and stuff. Cause I had only had DSLRs before and they had Reds. And so I just learned
Cinema
like
things.
everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I also like got absorbed into wardrobes. I helped wardrobe for a little while. And like, that's kind of like a female thing to do is okay, you're female, so you do wardrobe.
Right.
But I got like a crash course on that show.
Cool.
And then ever since then, like I kind of got adopted into camera right away, and I was a camera PA for a long time. Then I finally like got to be a second AC, and then it's been, I kind of skipped first ACing and went back to camera operating.
Nice.
I'd rather not pull focus because it's just like a skill set that you pick that and that's what you go with.
Not for me.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at it.
I'm okay at it, but I just would rather not, if that makes sense.
Sure. No, 100%.
So,
that is not, I can't do this forever. I don't have that. Brandon can. Brandon's good at it.
It's hard because you have to stare at the screen all day.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's pretty precise. I mean, it's really precise.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a
especially-
talent. It's a skill in its
It
own.
is.
Yeah.
Not for me though.
Yeah, I would get stuck at like second AC probably because I just
he's
like to
really
build.
bad.
I like
It'd
to build
probably
the
go like
camera.
Yeah. I like
And,
building
like,
cameras.
And beyond that, I'm just like, I don't. Okay.
Yeah.
Alex is probably the worst at
I'm the
point
same.
focus.
Or like operating like gimbal heads. Like
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
and,
you
and
stick to that.
building. I don't want to pull focus.
Yeah. It's its own thing.
It
So
is.
I try to skip it as much as I can.
So from camera operating, have you gotten on joysticks or heads or things and wheels? Have you played with that or no?
I haven't been able to do it like on set,
Okay.
but I've been places where
Can play with them.
I can play with them.
So that time that your mentor, we'll get to that in a minute, but did he have that stuff you played with?
Yeah,
in
he
there?
did
Okay.
have it. Yeah. So I played with wheels for 2 weeks straight.
Did you do the tracking stuff? The
Yeah,
circles?
he has. Yeah, it was.
Did he do it in
literally-
front of you and he was just like, and it just did a perfect
What was actually
circle?
really cool is I beat him the first day.
Oh, no way!
That's sick.
On
Yeah,
the wheels?
On the wheels,
That's
yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
That's really hard.
I think it's just because like we grew up with video games, so it's a little
Totally.
easier for us to operate rather than he's like 58 or something.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
he's been doing it for like 40 years.
Right. No, of course.
But
Yeah.
just because we were raised with video games, it's a little easier for us. Yeah.
So those are the legit wheels, the big OG wheels.
Big
Yeah.
geared
Yeah.
bad boys.
It was
Those are
cool.
sick. We have some in the house here, but they're digital wheels. You can feel them.
Okay.
We can bring them out actually later, and you can play
Yeah.
with them.
I mean, I might bug you guys a lot now that
Fine. Come over and play. We don't care. We're always here hanging
Yeah.
out.
Okay, cool.
So where were we? We were at the PA thing. You learned a lot. You got camera side of it. Went into that stuff. Did you like ACing at all? Or second ACing?
Yeah, I still AC a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, out here it's a small community,
It is.
so whenever any jobs, I'm like the 12th person to call on the list.
12?
Probably around
Why?
there. Just
Why you put
because,
yourself so low?
just because
What if you're third? You have no idea.
on like the bigger shoots and stuff, they have all their same guys over and over again.
Yeah.
And just out of being here for 7 more years, I know that I'm low on the list of people to call. So I get not any of the local stuff anymore, which is fine with me.
Really?
Yeah, because I like
we're not
working with non-local people because there's like not a stigma of like you're gonna take my job, so they actually treat me
That's
better.
why we came in here and we just started just going for it. And that's
Yeah.
when people either like us or they hate us. And
Yeah.
it's like, I don't care. We're here to help and have
Right.
fun. So you can be like that.
Yeah,
Sink or swim, buddy. I don't care. Like,
yeah,
we're here to help. We're here to play. We're here to have fun.
Exactly.
We're here to lift everybody up.
Right.
You know, like, come on.
that's my attitude too. So like I didn't really get that with the local people.
Sucks. I hate that.
Yeah,
Really sucks.
but it's fine because there's enough out of town people that come that
yeah.
hire me and they don't judge me at all, and
Nope.
so I get more camera operating jobs from out of town things and
Good.
AC stuff. So
That's awesome. You'll get a lot more experience too that way.
yeah,
You know, a lot of different perspectives, different people doing different stuff.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
it's really good to do that.
And then you get cool friends all around the country and world.
Yep.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
your office
Best part.
changes.
That's
what
the
do we
best
say?
part.
Office of the day.
Yeah.
Office of the day.
Yeah. Always
Travel.
Office space of the day.
Travel somewhere and have somebody to hit up to go grab a beer with.
Yeah,
we travel all the
exactly.
time,
Or
though.
sleep on the couch.
Or not sleep at all.
Not
or
sleep.
not sleep at all.
So you
actually.
want to be a filmmaker?
Yeah. Well, rethink some things, but no. So from there, what happened? What changed you in going from second AC? What got you your first operating job? Did you tell someone like, hey, like I really can do this, and they gave you the opportunity, or someone came up to you and was like, hey, I'm gonna give you this job?
I think it was kind of already that way because I was operating before I
Okay.
started in the industry
Sure.
specifically. So it was mostly like whenever bigger music festivals would come, like I would just be invited back in.
Was that Relentless by any chance? Or
I don't work for Relentless. And we don't have to go into that.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. Okay, cool. No, I'm just curious.
Yeah, because I started before Relentless was big, and then they kind of kicked out everyone else.
A lot of people.
So I was like more loyal to everyone else.
Interesting.
And things like
great.
that. But yeah. No, it's mostly like the Innings Fest and Country Thunder and things like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
Nice. You were just doing spring training baseball too.
Yeah.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I'm
hell
still
yeah.
doing spring training. I got like another week left.
So what are you doing there? Just operating. Just doing cool shit.
Yeah. So those are the kinds of operating jobs I get is mostly like live TV or broadcasting.
So you're doing a lot of live broadcasts right now.
Yeah. It's not my favorite thing to do, but it's better than like reality.
Yeah, reality. Reality, I don't like reality. Now, broadcast sports is fun.
It's fun. Yeah.
Well, I may have something maybe operating wise for you to check out.
Cool.
On ahead. So so you're doing spring training right now. What other projects you work on? You were working on, like you said earlier, you were talking about this small project that's doing a trailer, and you got invited to be the DP.
Yeah.
So how did that kind of come into play?
I have no idea where they found me. Like really.
We got 28,000 followers that came from somewhere, right? I mean, sheesh.
Yeah. I mean, that's 10 years of just nonstop trying.
Yeah.
Like,
we know.
Oh my gosh.
We're trying to get to 10 and it's taking forever. We got 9,020 yesterday. And now I got 9,009.
Yeah. I lose like hundreds of followers a day. So don't
Do you
like,
really?
Yeah. And then I get like reblogged by somebody and then I get like
Boom.
3,000 and then I lose 2,000.
What kind of blogs are posting it? Like, is it just like random things all over the place? Or
I mean, I just like tag everybody trying to get them to reblog me. So like this last one, when I was up in Page, I got reblogged by like Anton Bauer,
Oh, cool.
Teradek, Innovative.
Oh, love that.
Like all those, you just got to keep tagging them.
100%. Just keep bothering them until they come back.
I do. Yeah. It's like
know-
every
we know
post
that.
I bother them, you know?
That's good.
Yeah.
That's what you need. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, I mean, social teams are always looking for easy wins, and tagged photos are pretty easy wins.
And they've
We're
all
kind
like,
of influencers for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we do the work, but
Yeah.
we're kind of influencers in the sense that, we use their products and whatever.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to say
I've
that,
gotten so many emails from like Anton Bauer specifically too, and like Teradek that they're like, hey, like if you have a big project, we want to send you our new stuff, and you just have to take photos of it. And I've had to email them back and be like, hey, like I don't really have a project to do this on, and even if I was, like I don't have an ability to take the photos that you want. So yes, I will when I have it, but I haven't been able to yet.
Take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Like take advantage of it because, you get your hands on new equipment, you learn new things, you build relationships there, people talk about you there, blah, 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 and it kind of spreads from there. So,
And then if you ever have gear problems too, you have like
you got that,
sick
you got that
contact
plug.
Yeah.
We had, for the music video for Atlas, we wanted to use the 25 mil that hadn't come out yet. And so I hit up my buddy and that we've had relationships before in the past. And he's like, heck yeah, let's freaking do it. So they sent us it and played. So you just got to keep, building your relationships with other people. It really helps, you down the road, especially when you have.
Gives you options.
Gives you options.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, exactly.
But gets you hands on new toys. That's the one thing. If you're always a step ahead of everyone with equipment, then you're going to win that next job because that person doesn't know what it is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
On the technical side of things,
Technical side. But what she does is technical.
Yeah.
Camera operating is completely technical. So in a way,
sure.
there's a little flow to it, but this is a lot of nerdy stuff that we have to put together.
Very true. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not for everyone.
But so camera operator, go back to this DP thing. So what was that project? Talk to a little bit.
Yeah. So they were looking for a female cinematographer, which is how I got the job.
Cool.
But
it came from who knows where.
They were from New York, and it was really cool because the actors were from Bollywood.
What?
Oh yeah, they were all from Bollywood.
Cool.
We had two from local here in Arizona, which is cool too. But yeah, I don't know where they found me. When I finally got there, they were like, we looked at female cinematographers from all over the world and we picked yours. And I was like,
that's pretty sweet.
That's rad.
really crazy to me. Like, cause my cinematography reel is like 7 years old right now.
You should be proud of that.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I need to update it
Heck
because it's kind of embarrassing to me now because of how much I've changed. But
totally.
Yeah, it was really cool. Me and the director just totally were on the same page the whole time.
Nice.
And I really like working for people who are open to having female cinematographers because they just trust you a little more.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a trailer to get funding for the feature. And it was a big deal because they were like, do we want to film in Arizona? And so I was like, I got the best team I could. And by the end of it, they're like, we're coming back to Arizona.
Oh, so they'd reached out to you before committing to Arizona.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they came out
massive.
here for me. Yeah, so it was like,
was it a location thing or was it a crew thing?
It was a location thing too. Like they didn't really have any like limitation on where we were gonna shoot it. They were even thinking of like Morocco because everyone else was coming from India. So I was like, well, what about Page? It's gonna be a lot cheaper.
Sure.
Because they wanted it to look like Mars desert.
Well, there you go. It's right down the street.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So I was like, I can save you like a couple grand at least.
For sure.
And then by the end of it, they loved us. And so once they get the funding, which they are very capable of getting funding, which is really cool, they're going to come back out here.
Oh, that'd be massive.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
It's
awesome.
going to be a whole feature film on Lake Powell. So
badass.
it's going to be very difficult.
Do you know when it's going to be done? You just recently finished it, right?
Yeah. So they sent me the rough cut within like 3 days,
shit.
which was crazy. And I can show you guys.
Yeah.
after
Yeah, I'd love
this.
to see it. Yeah, that'd be awesome. So how do you think? What was your first take on it? Did you like it?
I loved it. Yeah.
Really?
Because it was just like the actors were so talented.
So it was a little bit easier to kind of get them into the.
Yeah. They just blew it out of the water right away.
Yeah.
Which I'm not necessarily used to because a lot of the actors out here are just used to commercials. So finding people who have been on feature films like constantly and just know how to kill it.
Right, they have that experience
crazy.
to like get into the character instead of just being the character for 5 seconds.
Right.
Or even like a quick soundbite, like commercial. It's always just like sound bites, quick moments.
Yeah, like smile and wave, clink your glass.
You need to be able to like to hold the emotion and stuff like that.
It was cool to see them in character because you don't really get many of those out here.
You believe them.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's when they're good.
Yeah. And it makes my job a lot easier and a lot more fun when I'm shooting somebody who's like so talented
100%.
on their own, you know.
So what were you? What was the camera package? What were you doing on that side?
We had an Alexa Mini and the Atlas Orions.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Did you have the LF or just the regular Mini?
Just the regular Mini, yeah.
Which is still beautiful.
We were
I
going to
love
get
that
the
camera.
LF, but we just wanted to save some money.
It was like it's double the price right now, I think, of a regular Mini, isn't it?
Yeah, even the rentals on them are like insane.
Yeah, they're insane right now.
Yeah.
And the Mini is still one of my favorite cameras.
Oh,
So
yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So you had the Atlases. Did you use what set?
The A set
So you had 65, 100, and
and the 40.
40. Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You like them?
Beautiful.
You like
yeah.
'em? Love 'em?
I like the 65 and the 100 the most.
Ah.
You know, the
Why is
100
that?
is my favorite.
I mean,
It's
I didn't
beautiful.
say that, but we did on the last one. We used 25 and 100,
Yeah.
and 100 was really nice.
How was the 25?
25 is rad.
Awesome.
Is it?
It's
Our
really
favorite
fun.
lens they've ever made.
Really?
It's
Yes.
awesome.
Okay, because I didn't really like the 35 or the 40 much.
Right. It's not as sharp.
Yeah.
25 is
So
really sharp.
cool. That's good to
So-
hear. I want to see it.
Yeah, you got to play with it.
Well,
But
the 30 and the 40 are never quite wide enough for what you want.
yeah,
out
it's
of it.
like
Yeah.
in between.
Whereas like the 65 kind of
There's a
plays in
clear
that.
look
That's
with the
true.
25 and the 100 though.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Like clear night and day looks
Yeah.
that you'd be going for. And then
sure.
those ones in the middle are like,
we
Yeah.
did.
It's not
We
fully
thought
there.
we were going to change. We had the 25, the 40, and the 100, and the 65, but we used the 40 one time for one shot, and everything else was 25, and then a couple shots for the 100. So it was interesting, but it was really cool. Anyway,
Yeah.
so what did you use the most? 100, 65?
65, yeah.
65 the most.
I even stayed on the 65 and just like climbed the mountain
And
just,
just went-
to get the wide, you know.
Ah,
Yeah.
So you really didn't want to switch that 40. You didn't.
I did some 40 stuff,
Some 40
but I just liked the look of
Nice.
65 better.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
pretty.
way
It's pretty.
better.
Heck yeah.
We had
kind of
we had a
filters?
bunch of tools. I just had the what did I have?
Like a Pro Mist, or did you have?
No,
these
I didn't
NDs,
do. I don't even know.
clears.
Honestly, I didn't do
Nothing
glimmer
much.
or anything.
So nothing effecty.
No, not really.
So just
Yeah.
NDs or basic clears or something like
hmm Yeah,
that. Nice.
yeah, it wasn't too exciting there.
Heck yeah. And then you had dollies, Dana dolly.
I had a Dana Dolly. We
Okay.
had a Ronin for a little while.
nice,
Yeah,
nice.
that was
Did you
fun.
operate the Ronin?
Did
Whoa,
yeah.
Like handheld it?
I had a
Or did I
ready rig. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
That definitely helps.
It's super
Holding-
heavy for me.
Holding a Ronin. We can't do it. You put a full package
It
on
was
there, you
hard.
break your damn back.
And the
Yeah, for
location
real.
we were at like was not flat at all. It
Yeah, no,
was
it's-
literally like wavy red rocks that were
Yeah.
like the whole mountain, and I didn't really have like a skilled enough grip team to like know how to help with that.
So,
So,
the movie would have helped with weight for sure on that
yeah,
one.
Probably.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have. I don't like the
Ronin.
movie as much, but
Yeah.
for handheld stuff like you were doing out there in the middle of nowhere, that definitely helps. with
Yeah,
weight.
that's good to know because I don't know. I just used
wait.
what I had access to at the
Yeah,
time.
for sure. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And I had an
But now
easy
you know.
rig for handheld.
Now when someone comes to you like, hey, I want to do Ronin 2 out in the middle of the desert with this package, you're like,
Yeah.
nah. Can we
Let's
get
do
me
the
another
movie.
option? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't break my back and,
Right.
snap my leg and fall down the cliff. Thanks.
I'm also somebody that like if I had like a grip that would fly a Ronin for me, I would just like let them do it.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Because the cool thing is with the Ronin, I mean, we'll both with the Movi, but too, you can have the operator on the ready rig and then you can just be on the sticks and you can be controlling the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
That's probably what I would do on the
there's
feature.
There's a lot of cool ways to kind of play with it.
Yeah.
That's what we love doing, just putting cameras in weird places and then figuring out how to do it, or like, just crazy shit.
Yeah.
That's what we love doing. Finding solutions to these weird problems.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay, so you were in there. What you said in Page?
Yeah, we were in Page.
Okay, cool. So the sunsets and sunrises were beautiful. Did you shoot
It was so pretty, yeah. It was like crazy weather up there though.
Really?
Like it was like snowing on us with the sun out.
Whoa.
And we had crazy windstorms. Yeah, we had to.
Good.
Yeah. So
Probably
it was like
pretty, huh?
the clouds were moving so fast that we were like, do we shoot this in the sun when it's out or do we shoot it in the clouds? There was like no in between.
So did you use the clouds or did you use the sun mostly? And then you have to use diffusion to counteract some things.
We ended up having mostly clouds. And there was like one scene where we just had to shoot it in the sun and we were like, it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry for the editor. Make it bluer. I don't know.
Suck it, editor.
Put some clouds in later.
Put
I
your
don't
work
know.
in now. I was out here busting my ass all week or whatever.
Yeah.
How many days did you shoot, by the way?
We were there for 4 days.
Okay, cool. So it was pretty packed.
Yeah.
You were moving pretty fast.
Yeah.
Huh.
Luckily, the actors were like totally fine with getting rained on the whole time, and
nice.
so
That's sick.
sometimes it's like they don't want to be out there at all, and so
Heck yeah.
we got lucky with them.
That story sounds awesome. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
See the
Yeah,
first
for real.
cut. At
Yeah,
least
it's
a
gonna
little
be
sneak
cool.
peek, which
Yeah.
is cool.
It's
So-
my first fight scene too that I've ever done. Yeah, the whole thing was like this fight scene. I can't talk much about it.
Sure.
But yeah, so that was a learning curve
A
for
lot
me.
of handheld, a lot of
Lots of handheld. I had an easy rig.
Sure.
So
Those are awesome. Love that.
Did you do any frame rate tricks with that?
we did. We shot in 60 the whole time so that they can like rack it
They can
later.
do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That's badass.
It's cool.
So what did you find out doing fighting stuff? What did you see that worked the most, or what did you like the most of it?
I mean, I just loved like how talented they were because they just got it every time.
It looked real, and it made it.
Yeah,
look
like
easy.
some of them they actually like hit each other, which like it wasn't supposed to,
Right.
but like they just went with it.
Nice.
But I wish we did have more time to practice, and I also wish that we weren't on a mountain. That would have been way easier.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. Like I will gladly do more
Heck
fight
yeah.
scenes.
Love that. And you had the comms to clear text.
We did.
What are those things called again? Comtext?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I don't know.
They were
whatever.
context.
Those,
Ear
aren't those the
text.
weird
Ear
ear text?
text,
There you
yeah.
go. Aren't those the best things ever?
They're literally
You
like
literally don't want to do a production without them.
yeah. No, that was the first time for me,
was
and
it?
I
You
never
just
want to
talk-
go back.
No.
Like I don't
Oh,
want to
yeah.
hear what production's doing.
No.
This is me and the camera team.
All you have to do is whisper, and they all of a sudden things start happening.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, cool.
And I
It's
had
really-
like the best first AC in Arizona.
Love it.
So I'm really grateful for him.
what was his name? I think we
Aaron Araza.
Aaron Araza. I feel like we've met.
You guys worked with him in
Yeah.
Texas.
Yeah. Oh yeah, on the process trailer.
yeah.
That's right. Yeah, he was super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool guy.
Yeah.
He's got his shit like all decked out. He's like ready to go.
He has like everything for every situation.
Yeah. It's
I was
really
like
cool.
testing him. I'm like, what would you do if we were in the middle of a blizzard in like Alaska? And you just like opened his van and he had everything, even
Dude,
though
they
we're in the
love
middle of the
that.
desert. I was like, why do you have all this here?
They love those questions because they want to show you all that stuff they don't
Gotta
really
be
always get to use. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, dude, no, I got this and this and this.
Right.
They love that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ACs love their kits.
They do.
You know,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
The Boy Scout motto, always be prepared.
Yeah, it is.
AC motto too.
It's true. They have
It is
all kinds
true.
of shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was really cool. It was just Chance and I out there in Texas that did the
Okay.
process job, but that was fun. There was one of these hills we were going up, and it was like straight up.
Oh my God.
And he's on the trailer, and everyone's on the trailer, and they're like, and when I'm going down, I have to use the engine braking on it because I couldn't press. I'll overheat my brakes because we
Right.
were like, it was like really steep.
That was actually terrifying.
And he's like, they're all like hanging on in the back while they're going down, and like I'm like, hang on, we're like going down this thing. Dude, it was crazy.
The process-
He loved it though. He was having fun. He was
Yeah.
like, they're like pirates on those things. They love those process trailers.
The
I would
process
be on it
trailer
in
is so
seconds.
fun.
You know?
Oh, yeah,
I'd be
super
like,
fun.
can I be on it too, even though I'm the second?
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
It's just like a wagon ride, really. It's just fun.
It's so fun to be on it too, because like when we were doing the Rob Schneider project, like
Yeah.
we were just like standing out there and like traffic's being held by cops, and you're just like on a float, like
Well, the thing is 2.5 lanes wide. Like,
Right.
You take up the entire street when you're
Yeah.
going down. So, and then the hard thing is for the driver, you got to fake it because you see the lines of the road,
Right.
And you got to make it look like they're actually in it. So you have to like sneak to one side, and you're like inches away from the curb, and
Right.
you know this thing's only a couple inches off the ground. So you're just like scraping stuff. It's fun. Remember the park we couldn't get in? The poles?
Oh, no, South Mountain.
Yeah.
South Mountain, we had to pull it in there. And it was this much
those
on either side.
probably.
Yeah, you couldn't. I did like, they're like, oh my God, we didn't think about this. And I'm like, I got it.
It's always the best to
cut down
pull
the
up
barricade.
Yeah, right.
pulling up at red lights with Talon in the car.
Oh,
Especially
yeah,
like
chilling.
if it's someone as well known as Rob Schneider and
Right.
then seeing people's reactions when they turn and they see Rob Schneider in the car.
Yeah, they're like freaking out. It was hilarious. This amount of phones that were out,
Yeah.
it was pretty funny.
time.
Actually, the DP fell asleep in the truck, but I'm not going to say that. But
That was so funny.
yeah, well, because it
That
was
was so
super hot
funny.
out.
Yeah.
Super hot. And so I'm surprised they did a process job that day because they weren't running any AC in that car, which was nuts to me. But they had to do it for audio. And so we got in the truck, and the truck's ice cold, and it's dark. You know, it's like
Right.
dark tent. Like, you know, it's designed to be monitors in there and stuff. So he sits in the middle, and we're driving. It's silent, and that thing's comfort. It's like a comfy couch in that truck. And he's just...
It's like the first time you got to sleep in like
The AC,
weeks,
Yeah,
probably.
probably.
the AC was like, so how's it looking? He looks over, he goes...
Good
I was
enough.
dying. I was laughing. And then he wakes
No,
up.
but there was
he's
like a
"So
time
how'd it
crunch
go?"
going. There was like a time crunch going on too. So it was
was.
even more funny to see him the DP passed out in the time crunch.
And then
That
he
means
wakes
he
up.
trusts his team, though. You know.
I've
When we
done
hit a
that.
big bump, he woke up. It's like, oh,
We've almost done that in the pursuit car though, on like the
whoa.
long haul stuff. Like there's been times where I like doze off and like the joystick,
Brandon
like
definitely
Oh,
the
no.
camera's just like off the truck, and I'm like,
oh yeah, 100%. Brandon's in the back. We're doing because we do long hauls with one of our trucking companies. So like we'll literally drive like 7 hours in a day, just literally tracking them.
Wow.
And Brandon's in the back pulling focus. And when you're pulling focus on a giant 18-wheeler, there's not much to pull unless
Specifically
Right.
on the wide stuff. And I just have, like,
Yeah.
So you see
there's
him
not
back
much
there.
going
He
on.
was like, "Set it. You're
He's
good."
just like passed out, and we're like, we're on the comp. Brandon.
there's definitely some shots that we've done enough that we're just like,
Yeah, no,
Right,
you
yeah.
can almost do it with your
Just-
eyes closed. Yeah,
Exactly.
Wake me up when it's over.
yeah, 100%.
I mean, I've fallen asleep in interviews a few times, like when it's like set and go for like an
Oh,
hour and a
yeah.
half.
Yeah.
I'm just
Oh, yeah.
behind the camera, just like, okay.
Oh yeah, just when it's really boring.
I know now to like hide my face, you know, behind,
Oh,
behind all the
just
lighting.
on the
stuff.
eyepiece. You're just,
Yeah. Just like
Man, he's been looking at that shot for a real long time.
it's just like
I love how dedicated you are to this shot.
Yeah, you're like cut, and you're like you pop up in the camera, and you just got like an eye circle, like target dog.
circle, just like
Yeah, you're like, all right, that looked great. Sounds like
well, you know those eyepieces are like colored. The dye like dyes on your eye because you're like
no.
sweating on it. Like that's actually funny. as
That'd be
shit.
really good.
That's a
funny.
good one. We should make a sticker of that.
We should make a little skit about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
That's funny.
Actually, that's really funny. So what's new now? After that project that's coming out, you're excited to see what they're gonna do with it. What's next?
I'm probably gonna go back out to England.
Oh,
That's
nice.
still a
which
plan
is your,
for me.
your
Yeah.
mentor that you were talking about earlier.
Yes.
Talk us, tell
that's-
people about that. That story was awesome.
It is pretty hard to like talk about
I know.
because it's hard to like start it. I got really lucky, and in 2020, my mentor that I have now found me on Instagram, and I don't know how he found me. I don't know how most people find me, but he messaged me saying he needs a mentee, and if he could be my mentor. And obviously, because of his like work that he's done, obviously I couldn't say no to it.
Right.
And his name is Sean Savage, and he was a cam operator of every episode of Game of Thrones for all 10 years of it.
That is wild.
legendary.
And so I got lucky because he was the president of the Association of Camera Operators over there, which is local to the UK only.
It was a perfect situation.
Yeah. And so he got me into that. I think I'm the only American in that association, which is pretty crazy.
Kick-ass. That's
And-
kick-ass.
Yeah. When
That's sick.
they added me, they're like, "Why are you here?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Well, I mean, I'm friends with the president."
Yeah.
It's super weird.
You did talk to him.
Yeah.
I'm with this guy.
Yeah. So,
So everyone just shut up and they're just like, okay, cool.
yeah. So
Yeah.
he's been just dedicated on like helping a lot of women get into the camera team.
Love that.
And over in England, they have like so much support for us.
That's great.
Like LA is light years away
Oh,
from
100%.
England and
Yeah.
getting women on camera teams.
It's terrible.
Yeah. So
Talent is talent, you know?
yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. So with that, like I went over there because he wants to be my mentor, and he literally has told me many times if I can get over there legally, he'll hire me on to the next shows that he's on.
That's literally, you got to figure out a way to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I went over there last year for 6 weeks.
Love that.
And I stayed in his house with his family and
Nice.
like all of his kids and stuff.
So it's a full-blown mentorship.
Yeah, literally.
All in.
Yeah. All in.
That's awesome.
And he's like annoying to me. Like he'll text
Sure.
me and call me and I'm like, dude, I'm busy.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
You know, like people pay like thousands and thousands of dollars to go for like 3 days with someone like
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's really cool that you have that opportunity.
Yeah. So
Like,
I'm
massive.
trying my best to keep him around,
Yeah,
you know.
100%.
And so I went over there and there's like many ways that you can get a freelance visa.
Sure.
And that's very complicated.
Right.
So my best option is to find a job over there that would then let me
Can
off.
he not figure out how to do that through like his own?
So his thing is like he won't help me get that.
Interesting.
So if I can get it, then he'll help me. You know. So
Maybe it's an insurance thing.
Maybe
They-
a lot
Might
of
be-
things
it
always
might be a
come
lot
down
of
to
things.
insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with some of the visas, like you have to have, it's an actual company that has to hire me. So I was trying to get a job somewhere that would let me off for 5 months on a movie.
Sure.
So I got a job at a camera rental house there.
Nice.
And the guy who owns it was filming Indiana Jones 5 when I was there. So I didn't get to meet him. Yeah.
I'm moving to UK. Can we let's Reelbros office UK?
No, they literally have like all the biggest shows out there right now.
love
Like
that.
everyone's moving out of LA.
Oh, no,
they're
everyone's
not
moving
even
out.
really going to Atlanta anymore. Most of
know,
Marvel
I
has
know.
been in London recently.
In Canada, right?
And
It's
Canada,
a lot
yeah.
in Canada.
Yeah.
It's
I wonder
it's
what's
changing.
I wonder what's changing that.
a lot. A lot's changing.
I mean, Netflix and HBO are both building their own studio lots out there in London too. They have like 9 whole like studios that they're building out there. Yeah. So
Massive.
yeah, it's big
Yeah.
times.
A little scary, but massive.
Yeah.
LA needs to get their shit together or figure something else out.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Arizona needs to get our
That's
shit
also
together.
very
We need to
true.
like take
We should
everyone
work
from
on
LA.
that first. Yeah. Well, they're moving out here. Don't
Yeah.
worry. They're
Yeah, they are.
moving
They
out
are.
here.
They are. But I don't know if I can wait for that
I know.
kind of thing with
Well,
my with my opportunity right
Yeah.
now.
No, you're in a different realm right now. Just take
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know, and you figure out how to get out. But you didn't know. But COVID screwed that whole thing
Yeah,
up in
yeah,
the beginning. The
yeah.
reason it's hard to get in is COVID, right?
Right. Yeah. Well,
That's-
when I was over there, I called the immigration office and I was like, "Hey, I want to be a freelancer out here. What do I do?" And they laughed at me on the phone. They're like, "Yeah, no, that's not happening."
Yeah, not right now.
So I was like, "Okay, well, it costs $10,000 to apply for a visa."
What?
Yeah, to get it
I
expedited.
didn't know. Oh, okay.
So if I didn't get it expedited, they would look at it 2 years from now, and I don't have that kind of time either. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So
a lot of
yeah,
work.
it costs 10 grand, and then so if I apply, they can deny me and still take my 10 grand. So I was like, okay, if you're laughing at me on the phone right now, I'm not gonna apply right
Seems
now.
rigged.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
so-
like
It's like rigged against you.
it's terrible.
You might as well
It's
find
That's some
like-
Ponzi scheme.
find a
shit.
job this
Ponzi
fall.
scheme.
Ponzi shit. I'm not even drinking. What's wrong with me?
Ponzi scheme.
Ponzi scheme. I need to open my mouth when I talk. Anyway.
Yeah. So I got a job with that guy, and I like interned with them for the week, and they
Nice.
loved me because
it.
I knew all the gear already.
Yeah.
And so like my whole thing was like, you have to sponsor me, which was another $4 grand, but I offered to pay for that too. So I was like, I'll pay for your sponsorship, and then I'll pay for my visa, and if I can work for you guys for like 10 months the first year, and you let me off for a movie, like that was my deal with them all. And he agreed to it in the beginning, and then when I came back home, he called me on his way home from working Indiana Jones.
Of course.
And he was like, I think that you have to work with us for a year straight, and then we'll talk about you leaving.
So you need to go back and figure out something else.
Yeah.
Get a
And I
job
was
there
like,
again.
I can't move over there on a maybe.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
there was like other complications where I was like, it could be like technically fraud in certain ways
Oh.
based off of like the income that I have to get as a sponsor. So I was like, yeah, I don't want to like force you to do this. I'm a stranger. You don't need to do this for me.
Sure.
Yeah. So now that they lifted all their COVID restrictions over there, I'm going to see if there's another way.
Nice.
But some of the other ways are like, I have to have $275,000 cash in my bank account for 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just go do that.
It's how they like keep unsavory people
Sure,
from
I
immigrating
get
to
it.
countries.
Yeah, it shows that I'm like
Yeah.
doing well,
Established,
right?
yeah.
So that's one of my options. Another option is I can have 50 grand in cash, but $1 million investor. So I mean that's like even
So
harder
what
to
you're
get.
saying is
Wild.
very difficult to get over there.
Yeah, the
Or-
easiest way is to marry somebody.
Yeah, you could marry somebody or marry a Canadian, and then you have the
Now we're
Commonwealth.
on
That's the
something.
thing. Yeah. The U.S. is not on the UK friendly list, which was like shocking to me.
Whoa.
It's like Canada, Australia, Africa.
Africa.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
those Commonwealth countries.
Yeah. So I'm like, why is the U.S. not friendly list?
What the heck?
Well, we kind of kicked them out of our
what we
country
need to
a long
do-
time ago.
So what we need to do is
Sad.
run ads for a hubby.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how you get in.
Right. It was so funny because I talked about it on Instagram and I got 4 proposals.
No, you didn't.
Because
I
I'm
don't
like,
doubt it. Like,
you
all
can be an
people-
American citizen too. Like there's,
So you
That
can
is
find
freaking
probably find
funny.
anything
beneficial
on the internet.
That's
but that could also
hilarious.
be fraud too, So I like, obviously I don't want to like cause fraud.
Love is not fraud.
I have to actually fall in love with them.
Well,
It's not for my career.
yeah, you get your acting on.
You get married, and then like they just end up in the U.S. and you end up in UK.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it.
Switch.
I'm the
Long
best wife
distance.
ever. I will never be home. It's fine.
Holy cow! I didn't know it was that hard.
It's very complicated.
Well, that's really annoying because you have this crazy opportunity. Like, you
Yeah.
you got to figure that out. I don't know how.
But I did find out that I can work over there for 3 months
Okay.
without a visa
Okay.
on location. So it can't be in a studio.
It cannot be in the studio.
Yeah. So I called my mentor and I was like, hey, yeah, the rules are very complicated.
You can go outside,
bill.
but you can't go in the studio.
The
Yeah.
Arizona bill is kind of like
Bro.
that
Yeah.
in a lot of ways.
Right.
Dude,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's some weird shit.
So I called my mentor and told him that. And so he
And
was
he's
like, I'll pay for your plane ticket to come out again.
Okay.
And he'll get me on whatever shoot he's on for the days that they're on location.
Okay.
Right now,
So
he
how
won't.
does that help you though?
It'll just like possibly get me to introduce myself to the production company,
Sure.
and then they could be my sponsor.
And you might find your next husband.
So there's
And yeah,
But-
like
but
either
that way you
way,
can make the full flip.
or both.
Can
Yeah,
be both.
yeah.
So with the sponsor, what does that exactly do for you?
It's literally just a company that's hiring me.
Sure.
So then they like can give me my visa,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
So that's a way of.
It's easier. It's easier for a business to
$1 million
sponsor
or whatever
you.
it is.
Like my friend that works in Australia, it's easier for the business to sponsor you and do that paperwork and all that than it is to come in as a freelancer.
Yeah.
Because they think like it's technically they think coming in as a freelancer you're taking work away from the
community,
local
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're contributing to a local business,
Right.
it's different.
Yeah. And that's like they have so much work out there that they need camera people.
Yeah, sure.
It's crazy.
Well, that's great.
Yeah. They're like so tired right now because everyone's like they're hopping off of one job straight into another one, just like us during our busy season. But the jobs that they're getting is like all the
yeah,
big
it's all
movies.
big films.
Yeah.
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 Dang.
I mean, right now it's so new that it's exploded that it's not written in the immigration law that like they need film people.
Sure.
So it's just
Sure.
old school rules.
Yeah, old school rules.
So I'm curious about the 6 weeks that you spent with him.
Yeah.
Kind of what that looked like.
10 of those days I had to be in quarantine. This was like right when COVID was all crazy for them. I had to take like 10 COVID tests in order to even like leave the house. So that was crazy. But the whole time it was literally just like listening to his stories and stuff because he was working on, I think it was like Aquaman 2
Wow.
that when I was out there.
So, he's
So he
hitting
was
all the big
gone
ones.
like during the days and things. It was mostly me reading immigration law, like just in his house the whole time. Cause
Holy
when you're
shit.
out here, like you don't get like the UK internet searches, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like when you're actually over there,
Yeah.
Right.
it's different searches that come
Right.
up.
It's a different server and yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, whatever. But
Yeah.
a lot of the time too, like, so I'm not his only mentee. He has a group of us, and it's like women who are like older than me who've been doing it, and then there's like 2 that are younger. So he like had a meeting with all of us, so I got to meet all of them, and it was really just learning as much as I can from him, like listening to his stories and stuff, and trying to get a job. So I was just reaching out to everybody.
Soaking it in.
Yeah. And then also like just driving around England, and I was
Yeah.
by myself, like looking at Stonehenge and stuff.
That's fun. It's a cool place for sure.
But I had made friends. Like I had gone to England like a few years before that, and I had made
nice.
some friends. So like one of them is a huge Steadicam operator over there now.
Nice.
And I got to work his music video, which that he was doing.
Oh,
so.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So,
So you got a lot of connections.
Yeah.
Do you think Instagram has helped a lot?
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Literally like 50% of my jobs are from Instagram.
Nice.
And then yeah, like it made me find my mentor and like some other people
So it's a
that
huge
are pretty
platform
big.
for you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Sure.
When I was over there, like I got a bunch of other guys that followed me on Instagram again, that are like, how do I help you? And so like, even if my mentor can't help me, they are like, well, I have a show that you can jump on too.
Nice.
Yeah. I have way more support
Hell
in
yeah.
England than I do in the US.
Wow.
Sucks.
That's wild.
Yeah, it does. It sucks for me.
And then there's all these like hoops to jump through to get there.
yeah.
That's like life. Anything worth going after, there's always like
Some bullshit. in the way.
red tape along
Right.
the way that you're just
Yeah.
like, make this easier.
For me, it's like, do I move to LA and like climb the ranks there? Because I have some people out there that I get asked like every week when I'm moving to LA, which would benefit my career as a camera operator pretty rapidly. But then it's like, but if that'll take me like 5 to 10 years to get to the level that I would in like 3 years in England.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So what do you think it is here in Arizona? Is it the women thing? Is it just people being people and doing typical, normal, everyday things?
Both.
Is it just people comfortable?
I think it's just such a small
Combination.
community that the production coordinators and the leaders in town will just hire the same people over and over again, and
Those are
there's not
comfortable.
really any way to get into those jobs to
We
like
f- we-
raise up the ranks in a way. So you kind of have to wait for people to retire out here.
We found out a way to get in.
And a lot
I mean,
of,
yeah.
and a lot of retired people don't want to like train people.
Yeah,
It's,
they don't-
yeah.
Yeah.
They get very
Or they want like
salty.
mentor like multiple people.
Yeah. There's a few like older camera guys out here that like have kicked me off of jobs, and I took it as like they don't want a female on their sets.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like I have a whole bunch of stories I won't really get into about how like being a female out here has been just such a nightmare for me. So,
Damn.
On top of that,
That pisses me
terrible
off.
on
hear.
top of that, have you noticed an age thing?
oh yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
It's like
Oh, yeah.
we deal with
did
that
that
all
a
the
lot.
time.
Age, we lost a lot of jobs because of age.
right.
We still do.
Yeah, well, fuck them.
But luckily though, like more and more millennials are taking over production companies, and they're like the leaders now. So that's what I've
Yeah.
been getting. Like all of my main camera operator and DP jobs have been coming from a millennial production company.
Yeah.
Or like millennial coordinators and stuff, where they're
Well,
not
it's-
judging you based off your.
We're in that kind of time now that, in our life that most of these people are either running businesses or working for someone bigger now. So we're at, a little bit
That too,
different
yeah.
time in our life that we can kind of lead in a way. now,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Arizona's kind of like that. It's not about the timing. It's about the time in. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of culture. Longer you're here,
We're
the
trying
better
to
chances you have.
I know that makes
But
sense.
we're trying to change that. It's about,
We're trying to change that.
for sure.
Really creating a better community around it. So
Right.
now that we got rid of some people on the board, now Alex is on the board. So there's younger people on it.
Yeah. Congratulations for that. Thank you.
So,
I was so
yeah, it's
excited. Yeah. We
So-
need people.
Oh yeah, we need it. So
We need more of the events that you went to,
Yeah.
where you got to
Right.
talk to people,
Yeah.
hiring and like what to do.
Yeah.
There's
so-
not enough of that, so there's a bunch of people that are like, I don't know what to do.
Right.
Well, if you notice, there's a couple more events that have been popping up more recently. So we're trying to do a lot more.
Right.
Even though we're not even on the board, but we have influence. At least if somebody we could talk in their ear.
Yeah.
But we got a bunch of ideas coming up. So like we want to do something where we have an event where we set up a whole scene, which we might be doing this at Real Man or a studio like it. I don't know where though, but most likely at Real Man. We've already talked to them. So we basically set up a scene and we have a party and hang out and we shoot an actual scene. Like
Cool.
full on, top to bottom, do a scene.
See, I would come to that.
Get people on the, get people on jibs, get people on the heads, get people on cameras,
Yeah.
make them do something.
Cool.
Because every time you have an event and you just go around and you just stare at people and you're just like,
Yeah.
Put the sound guy on pull and focus.
I know
and
you-
then we
There you
just
go.
like don't. We
Do
just
everything.
like put the scene out however it comes out. It'd be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
Focus
you-
would just be like all over the place.
yeah, it'd be awesome.
I feel like you'd be surprised. They might be pretty
Might
good
be
at
bad.
it.
But that's the thing. You got to get experience. The reason we have a lack of people is because they're not being trained properly.
Right. Right.
So you get them on stuff. The
Yeah.
only way to learn is to physically do. So
Right.
these events need to be.
Well, and figuring out what you like early on. Like
Yeah.
you figured out you liked being around
You
the
like
camera,
camera.
and operating a camera.
Right.
Some people might be like, "Oh, I love camera," and they're like, "I hate camera," and they're
Yeah.
like on audio or whatever. Or they're on something else, like. So we're gonna start doing that. So there's a lot of stuff we want to do. Got some robot event coming up. So
That's
that'll
really
be
cool.
fun. So we're trying to do a lot of stuff because it only benefits us too, right?
Yeah. I would come
building
to
a
that
community.
because if you had the wheels out there, I'd be there the whole time.
Heck yeah, we got wheels.
People would have to kick me off.
Are you going to go to Phoenix Film Fest?
I am.
Industry
Yeah,
night?
they actually asked me to be on the panel for.
nice.
Yeah,
Congrats,
so I'm on
man.
a panel on Saturday.
Sweet. Yeah,
Just cooler than us. We just have a freaking table over here.
we got a vendor table there,
Yeah.
but I was
Cool.
gonna put the wheels out on the table and have them.
We'll have that out there.
All right.
We might have the robot out there.
I literally have to
wait hear
leave and go straight to spring training though, so I can't
right,
really
right.
like
Nice.
hang out there.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
It is a
Yeah.
good problem to have, for sure.
Yeah, so that panel is about how it's beneficial to film in Arizona. So I need to
So you
figure
gotta
out why.
figure that out.
Why is it beneficial?
First question, you're like, well, actually, I'm trying to get out of here.
I'm trying to get to the UK. Can you help me do that?
England.
Yeah. So visa.
I think we have a really good location-based industry.
We do.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
the crew that we do have here
Are very good.
Are
Very
very
skilled.
talented
Yes.
and skilled.
I have been an advocate for Arizona up until 2020.
That sucks that you've been advocating Arizona and then they're not giving it back to you.
Yeah, I mean it's been really hard for
That's
me
a
out
bummer.
here.
well, it sounds like
really hard.
Arizona failed you. You didn't fail Arizona.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I'm kind of on the verge of giving up a little bit, so I'm trying to hang on, but I might just go to England for 3 years and then come back and like be a leader.
Yeah, just come
You're
back
on
and
the-
just like
You're on the Arizona Association thing or whatever, right? The freaking Okay. Do you get a lot of work through there or no?
I think I do.
You do?
Yeah, just because I'm listed on it.
Good.
You know, and the what is it? AZ Film in like our office.
yeah,
the
they
film
film
office.
office,
they
they-
give me out
Do they?
a lot. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
that's
I've
really
like
good.
never even talked to them before.
Is that coming from Phoenix downtown?
The
or is
Phoenix
that,
one, yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, cool. That's good.
Very cool.
Yeah,
That's really good.
it's really
we know
cool.
all them. So I'm glad they're doing that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that was
Cool.
shocking to me actually.
oh, really?
Yeah, because I just have never met any of them, and I didn't know that they knew I existed.
Great.
So I've been getting a lot of calls and like, yeah, Arizona Film Office gave us to you. I'm like,
word
heck yeah.
word travels fast. I mean,
It does.
Yeah.
and if you don't like mess stuff up, if you know what you're doing, they always love to have somebody that they can just like
Yeah.
easy win for them every time
Right.
a project
Yep.
comes in.
yeah.
And you could reach out to the offices, talk to them.
yeah.
You know, we do
Yeah.
it all the time. We'll show up and be like, hey, what's going on? And you always get in front of their face.
Right.
Because that's just good. Keep them fresh on it. Like, know that you're always working on new things.
True.
And, it just helps them.
Yeah.
They're there to
Yeah.
get work into Phoenix, so they need to know that the people are knowing what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
So just get in front of them.
Yeah.
DM them. Shit. I don't know. Whatever. Your Instagram's powerful, so use that.
True. Yeah, I
You
know.
And just get in front of their face. Like, hey, like I'm working on this cool stuff. Let me know if something's coming up. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And they'll put you on the stuff because you're in their head. So
Right.
it's,
I've been slacking on that recently, to be honest.
yeah, it's a tough thing to continue like doing, but that's like kind of how we built this brand in a way. Is just be out there.
Right.
It's not traditional in its sense, but like just be out there with all the stuff that we do. So
Right.
people see that we're constantly working, we're constantly changing, we're constantly adapting, working on things and whatever. So people see that and they're like, oh, I want to work with them.
Right.
So it's a good thing for everyone to kind of take their notes and,
True.
put it in themselves. So.
Yeah.
So this is probably a good time that we got
You
a
have questions?
question. We got one question.
One.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this one this one comes from Benson Ferris.
Oh my.
Shout out, fellow board
Hey,
member.
Benson.
Yeah, hey Benson.
What up, Benson?
Oh, it's Benson. Hey, Benson.
What is something that people often don't understand about working in the camera department?
Ooh.
That's an interesting
Say it again.
question.
Say it again.
What is something people don't often understand about working in the camera department?
Back problems.
Carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to answer that because it's like very technical.
I'm
Understanding.
trying to think of that actually. One thing
I
that
think there's probably some things on cameras are done like the same way in a lot of the cases, and in others it's not. I don't know.
good question, Benson. You got us stumped.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's a difficult one. A lot of people think that we're like so full of ourselves, but I think it's more like we're so hyper focused. There's a lot of technical stuff. We have to like make sure everything's working the whole time. And then it's also an art form. Yeah. So if we're not talking to you, it's not because like we think we're better than you at all, but we're literally like so focused. We like don't even know that we're not talking to you right now. So I think that's like something I've gotten a lot.
That's a great
That's
point.
a good
You
one.
know, where
Super
they're like,
good.
oh, everyone's like so egotistical. It's like, no, do you know how much this costs? Like this wire that I'm
Yeah.
plugging in is $500.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like this big.
It's true. You are hyper-focused.
So, yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Don't touch the camera.
Yeah.
Have you
There's
ever,
a reason for that.
have you ever noticed that you have this stuff all put together and you test it before and test it on set, and then right before, like it sits standby like all day long, and then right before you're ready to shoot, something like the wireless will just like drop out.
Oh, yeah.
Or like the focus will just
But it's
decide
not
to calibrate.
One of the normal troubleshoots to get it out of that, it
Doesn't
it
work.
isn't working,
Yeah.
or there's no answer, and you're like, what is going on?
That
It's
happens
ridiculous.
too many times. Like too many times.
I don't.
I think it's like
understand that.
a little.
We always go simulation
it's
confirmed.
like a
every time.
ghost, a little ghost that just follows camera
Yeah.
teams around and just starts.
It's like you're about to go
unplugging
on,
shit.
so I'm gonna
Yeah.
fail.
Yeah. It's a glitch in the matrix for sure.
That's been hard for me as a second with Pterodeck specifically. I'm gonna name call them because it's
happens.
literally like they're dying all the time, and then I've got directors and stuff yelling at me, and
Yep.
I'm like, dude, like you should know enough that it's the Pterodeck that's doing this right now, not me.
Yeah. No, for sure.
True.
So,
The problem is with that in any form, shape or form, like they don't care what equipment it is.
right.
They're going to blame it on you every time.
Right, yeah.
Even if you're not a department that's wrong, like if we're doing cable cam stuff and we're waiting on camera department to bring the camera to us,
Yeah.
we get yelled at.
Right.
Because it's our job to make sure that we get that system out there on
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
So responsibilities suck because you have to like manage other people's,
Right,
time and
yeah.
stuff, whatever. So
We try and take camera from people for specialty now and
So,
build it
like,
Right.
ourselves.
So you don't have to deal with it.
yeah, everything comes through us now.
Right.
Like full. If we're showing up with pursuit or whatever it is, camera gets built by us, we get put it on, so we know
Right.
that everything works, and you're not trying to blame us for some dumb shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, when the
If they
camera's
build
on
it
our
wrong.
when the camera's on our gear, it looks like if it's on the cable cam or the crane, it looks like the crane's holding things up or the
Yep.
cable cam's holding things up.
Yep.
And we've been on sets where it's been just like
And it's
that.
like camera team where the Pterodeck goes down. Oh, camera can't, but it's like my fucking wireless isn't working
Right.
because it's a hunk of shit right now.
Yeah.
So
But you got us the worst one ever.
yeah,
yeah.
So
Yeah, you went cheap on the wireless and now it doesn't work. So.
it is what it is.
And then on the specialty too, is like people would show up with like the full on cinema build,
Right.
with everything hanging off of it.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like,
You have to
that
take
is
it all
not
off.
gonna fit
Yeah.
on this
Strip
Ronin
it.
2.
No, they're like, I stripped this down to like probably as much as
Yeah.
I could. Will
Yeah,
this
yeah,
work?
yeah.
And there's like a
Still
like-
full handle, like a giant
A
battery
shark
pack on
fin
the back.
double
Oh my
battery.
Well, they're used to that because back then the heads were
I know.
they weren't gyro.
Yeah,
They,
even
they
like-
just
Yeah.
slid it on and
You
they
did
just
Libra
went.
or
Right.
Panther.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they still do that. They still have massive heads where they can slide those packages on
That's
for
the
sure. But heads have gotten smaller now to where when we're doing stuff like this, you don't need those massive heads all the time.
Right.
So.
I worked on a few like commercials where there was those big drone op guys, and they would just like require that their red was used, so that they didn't have to like de-rig.
Yeah. That's,
Oh yeah.
that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. We tell them just bring it stripped. Give me the lens. Give me the camera.
Right.
That's it.
body and lens.
yeah, it's gonna be hard though. Like a lot of the jobs that I work are like you have to shoot first, and then you strip it, and then you put it on the crane. And
So
you
they're
know.
not getting
Yeah.
multiple cameras.
No.
We
Yeah.
recommend that.
Yeah, I hope
Always,
I
yeah.
can get on bigger shoots like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's always nice because then you can just have two built. Sometimes we can't do that, so we try to build them in a
Yeah.
smart way to where
Right.
you can click
So you can
in and
just-
click out
right.
without adding anything to it
yeah,
or taking away. So like if we can find the middle ground between what camera team on the ground wants and what we want,
yeah,
build that and we can build it and then they're happy and then they're just like, oh sick, we just take it off, shoot, put it back on. So,
right. Yeah,
yeah,
the better the AC, like they'll understand that.
100%, 100%. And most of them now completely understand like we can't have all a gack on it for no
Right.
reason because it
Camera
affects the
building
shots.
is an art.
It is.
100%
It
is an
is.
art.
Yeah.
And it's different every day.
It's
Different every 20 minutes.
Maybe that's my
blows
answer
my
to that.
mind.
That's my answer to Benson's question. People don't realize like
Yeah.
a camera build is an art.
Yeah.
They
It
just
is.
think it's a one and done type
Or-
of way.
And how many different components are having to talk to each other in that camera build
make a
for it
shot.
to
Yeah.
work really efficiently.
Yeah.
Like every scene is different too.
Oh
You
yeah.
know? So
Oh yeah. Changing all the time.
That's been one of my biggest gripes about equipment companies, at least, is they don't talk enough so that
Yes.
things that should just like match up don't ever match up.
yeah.
So you're always adding in like a cheese plate or like a weird clamp or something.
Right.
To
Like
make
why don't
it,
they just
like-
build it that way?
Yeah.
Double washers
Everyone
or
talks to each
something.
other. Everything would be a little bit
Like,
easier.
like
Right.
even like NATO rails and stuff that should
Yeah.
be technically standard in some cases are not very
Not
standard.
You have to,
Right.
like fucking hammer them in.
So they all compete with each other for the
Yeah.
money.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is.
That's the sad part.
It is what it is.
Or they try and create their own
Proprietary,
ecosystems,
yeah.
their proprietary ecosystems.
Right.
So you have to stay within theirs.
Right. But when we were starting out, we didn't have like a ton of equipment, But what we did is we took a whole year of just renting stuff from certain people and trying stuff out. And we didn't like that. Rent this, rent that. I think we spent $60,000, $70,000 on rentals in a year. Spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
But we did it purposely so we can find out exactly what we want and buy it. So everything
that's
that we rented.
That's kind of what I did too a little bit. Like I didn't spend that much, but over like 3 or 4 years, I was renting a bunch of stuff, and then I was like, okay, so this is what I rent all the time, so I'm gonna buy it.
I like it exactly.
Yeah,
and it works for you. So we just bought everything that we knew that works, and so far everything's still kicking it.
Buy once, cry once.
Yeah, it's true. Buy once, cry once for sure.
Definitely true.
Definitely happens. Like those cheap director chairs over there. I opened the box, I sat in it, and it snapped. So don't buy cheap director chairs.
Yeah, that's sad.
It's because you ordered it from Alibaba. I mean, Amazon.
True. And canceled. And I'm just kidding.
That's what they basically turned into, dude.
It
It's
is
just like a bunch of cheap shit now.
It is a bunch of cheap shit for sure. But some of them work. There you go. Colby's sitting on it. He falls off. You imagine that happening right now. That'd be so funny.
I like the black ones though.
Yeah, the black ones are all sick. That's all black. That's why I wanted them, and you couldn't get them in any other color. Like the legit ones, these are like $100. The real ones are like $200 or $250 or something like that. But it's still kind of expensive for
breaking on your first.
Yeah, I literally sat down, snap.
That's sad.
But they work now. It's fine.
Sorry.
Enough about chairs.
All right,
Going off on tangents. My ADHD is like that.
We're out of camera department now.
So you're going back in 6 months. What do you, or not in 6 months, you're going back to the UK. What are you really looking forward to from that time that you didn't get last time, other than visa stuff, other than political visa stuff and getting into the country? What are you really looking forward to?
I think this time, I'm not going to go until I have guaranteed work there. And this time it's more set up for that. Because before I was like, oh, I can't work until I have a visa. But I found out that I could work there for 3 months if it's on location. So I told my mentor and a few other people, and if I tell them the dates and they tell me that I can get on set and they have it actually approved, I'll be working in England.
Nice.
So you're
you laid a lot of the groundwork.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what I would be doing.
And you want to be on set next to your mentor.
Yeah.
That's most ideal situation.
And that's the craziest thing about him is literally I'm totally grateful for the experience. So I'm I'll be a camera PA, I don't really care. I don't need to touch the cameras on a big shoot like that. And he was like, no, you're going to be A cam second AC. And I'm like, these kinds of movies have C cams.
I like this guy.
Yeah.
I like this guy. Throws you right in the deep end. That's the only way that you really learn what to do.
Right. Yeah.
The only way.
I'm I'm an American coming in, on first day, I'm already on A cam,
blimey.
He yells at me. He yells at me literally because he's like, "No, take the opportunity.
Yeah.
Show up." And I'm like, "Okay, everyone's gonna hate me, but it's fine."
Do shit that's scary.
Who cares what other people are saying?
I know. Yeah,
nobody cares. I don't care.
He to do something like that though. He sees something and you probably there's a reason
100%.
Other people are not getting that opportunity.
I try to tell myself that
Sometimes you got to be selfish in that sense of
you have to
take it.
Be nice, but
do scary shit.
Yeah, he's really helped me with that because before when it was first happening, I was thinking of even quitting camera team out here because I was having such a hard time out here with all the local guys. And he came at the perfect time and he called me and he was like, "Why do you care?
Yeah,
you're not going to be a second AC in Arizona forever."
Right.
So that really helped me out. So
Snappy.
it's really crazy. Yeah.
I like this guy. This guy's cool.
Yeah, he's really cool.
That's awesome. Really good person to be around. Sounds like.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about this. You did a cool project a year or so ago where you were on a sailboat for a long time.
A sailboat.
We were.
Dang, I want that job.
That's a very interesting project too. I was a camera operator. There was 5 of us, and we got hired to follow the Phoenix Blind Children's Association, and they had a trip where they had it was 13 blind teenagers that sailed around the Caribbean.
Physically sailed?
They were the ones sailing the boats, and they were all blind.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't even canoe across the...
That's insane.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It was amazing. Obviously, we had boat captains.
That? Yeah, it was totally...
It was terrifying.
It wasn't... Yeah, I mean...
It was really terrifying.
You had people that could.
We had boat captains, yeah. But they did it. They did the whole thing.
Was that for a TV show or a series? Or
it was for a documentary.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's on Apple TV.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it out?
It is. I'd have to remember what it's called, actually.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I'll watch it. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. It actually turned out really good.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was pretty crazy. It was really difficult because there was storming the whole time and there's a lot of things, even if it's your first time sailing, half the time there's even one mistake you do, the boat flips around completely.
Sure. That's insane.
in like a 360. And one of the times I was shooting them, like not tied down to anything, and I almost fell off the boat because
No
it
way.
flipped around. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What were you guys filming with?
We had like a bunch of Sony like
Oh, a bunch of
A7Ss
Sony's.
or
So
something.
it's like these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, but
Compact,
that was
light.
really crazy.
Yeah.
And we would like go to the islands, and then they would like hike and stuff. It was team building
wow.
things.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
From a logistics standpoint, like charging cameras and stuff, how does that work
On
on
a boat.
We had
On a boat.
generators.
Oh,
Was it like a
okay.
catamaran type
It was
setup?
a catamaran.
Okay,
Yeah, we
So
had
they're
4
pretty big.
catamarans.
They're big.
We had our own like
Four?
camera.
Damn, this is like squad.
Yeah.
Big old squad.
Yeah. So we had like camera team had our own catamaran and our own captain, so that we weren't like bothering the kids.
Sign me up. I want to go next.
Yeah.
You just
So we get
occasionally board
assigned.
them like pirates.
Yeah, we would come on a dinghy and like board them for the day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
And like some of them, it was just extraordinary to hear their stories and stuff, because
Oh,
like some of them like had their sight as kids and lost it, and some were born that way. But they were
Crazy.
badasses the whole time.
The fact
like,
they're out there is amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, it was cool because some of them like had never swam before,
Oh.
and they're like in the middle of the Caribbean sailing boats, you know, blind.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it was really crazy.
Crazy.
That's epic.
Yeah. How long were you
it's a
there
good
for?
one. We were there for 2.5 weeks or so.
Whoa.
Yeah,
It's a long one.
it was. It was fun
Did
though.
they pay you on time?
I actually did it for free.
Well, that's even cooler.
Yeah, well, because it's like they had to pay for the boat and the food and
No,
stuff.
it's a lot. Yeah.
And
done
I got
stuff
the
for
camera up, so
Yeah, free
in the
shit.
Caribbean.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
Put it on your resume. Now it's on Apple TV. Boom.
yeah.
And you got to go to the Caribbean.
That was the
Literally.
same scenario for John and I.
beautiful.
Oh, we
Samoa.
did freaking free shit all the time. Yeah.
Well, specifically that because
Oh,
we just got
Samoa,
to be
yeah.
like in such a gorgeous scene, filming, being camera
Free
operators.
trip to the
doing, like-
Caribbean, and I get to do what I want.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It was a good time.
Yeah. So you always got to do free shit when you're starting out, at least.
Yeah.
Or if you find a really good opportunity and it's like, I can twist this to make it work for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If it's cool, if it's really cool.
What's that
like,
3
It was
thing you
really
always talk
cool.
about? You got 3 things.
3
Or if
rules.
you get an experience.
What's
out
your
of
3
it.
rules?
Are you gonna get paid? If it meets 2 of the criteria, you should do it. If you're gonna make money, are you gonna get paid? Are you gonna meet somebody, or are you gonna learn something?
Yeah,
And if it meets 2 of them, you should
Do
go
it.
do it.
I've lived that way a lot in my time, because there was like a really big commercial that I was invited to, but they're like, oh, we're going to hire someone local. It was in Montana. And I was like, what if I pay like myself out there? And they're like, okay, sure. If you show up, then we'll get you on. And it was going to be like a 2.5 week shoot that I was going to get paid for. And like with a hotel stay and stuff, I wasn't
Sure.
going to make that much money.
Sure.
But when I got there, they handed me my airport ticket in cash. They're like, thanks for showing us that you want to be here. And
Cool.
they paid for my hotel.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, and then they were my clients for like 4 years. So I got
Nice.
to go out to Montana for years because I did that.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
it was cool.
So you put yourself out there.
Yeah,
Send
that's cool.
it.
Just the commitment.
Full
I was
send.
having a conversation with somebody earlier today, actually, about like loyalty and like commitment to each other in the film industry, and it's like harder and harder to come by. That's cool.
It is hard
It
to
is.
come by.
A lot of people just want
There's
money
definitely
for
good
it.
people out there. It's just
100,000%.
the bad
Yeah.
people kind of blanket
You just
over
hear
the
them
good.
more. It's like the
Yeah,
media.
you just
It's
hear
hard
about
to
it.
find them, yeah. But when you do, you hold on to them
Yeah,
for
for
dear
sure.
life, literally.
For sure.
Do
That's
you
how we feel.
do you have a funny or horror story on set being like a second AC or an operator? You don't have to name
This gets
names or
everyone every time.
anything.
This gets everyone
But
every
like,
time.
there's always everybody has some
Oh, you have-
interesting,
yeah,
funny
yeah,
stories.
Like
for
the
sure.
best shot ever just happened. You didn't hit record.
Oh,
Like
I've
John.
done that once. Oh my God, that was the worst day of my life.
Alex
I
and
have horror
Alex and
stories
messed
for
up
days.
a big one, but
Uh-oh.
oh well.
Oh yeah.
Funny stories, not really. Horror stories, I can talk a whole other podcast about.
Oh really?
Just being a female and like all the problems that
You get a lot of shit.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
It's
We've
bad.
ran into that
That's
with
so
other.
sweet.
We've ran into that with other women producers as well, and you can see it on set. It's terrible.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
it is. I'm trying to think of a funny one.
Sad. I have to think of a funny one. Jesus Christ.
No, none of those compared to all the nightmares. Yeah.
And that's just it's specific to Arizona. You've noticed?
Not necessarily. It's like on almost every job.
Damn.
Yeah. It's hard to talk about, but like for example, I try to think of it as like a way where most guys were raised to like carry things for women and open doors for women and stuff. So like when they try to like take a camera out of my hand because they think I can't carry it, I try not to like get offended by it anymore, and just be like, okay, like they're trying to be chivalrous.
Sure.
But like most of my career before, I was like, no, like you're being rude as fuck right now. Like, do not take this out of my hand. So that's a lot of that.
Have you changed that mentality a bit to realize, like you said, you kind of realized that they were just helping out, or is it?
It depends on the person.
The person, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
because there's people that literally like try to sabotage me.
So basically, don't touch your fucking camera.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Noted. Noted.
I mean, you can if you want to.
Nah,
like, for
I
example,
ain't gonna do it.
I was just on a Netflix shoot and I was an AC for this camera operator. And on the first day, he had his sound mixer hold the camera so he could change the lens. And I'm at a point in my career where I'm like, okay, go ahead. Have the sound mixer hold the camera.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
Yeah. Because he didn't think that I was capable of doing it. So before I was like, no, like I'm going to fight for this and you better understand my skill. And now I'm like, okay, like if you don't want to believe in me, that's fine. But by day 2, like he could find out my skill. And then for the next week and a half that I worked with him, it was fine. Bother you. Yeah. So, but it happens all the time.
Like a break-in period.
It's like proving yourself every time you're on set, which is so.
I mean,
but like if I was a male,
do that, though.
If I was a male, it would have been no problem whatsoever. Sure. And there's been sets that I've had like male ACs drop like all the filters on the ground.
Oh, sure.
They didn't get yelled at all. But I sat down a tripod and I didn't level it and I get shit on, like on the same set. So I'm like, I've noticed a lot of the guys screw up a lot more than me. And I set like a lens on a table that I wasn't supposed to put it on and I get yelled at by the entire crew. So it's difficult. Yeah.
Bro,
but I feel like
people.
It's like they're just so hyper like focused on me for some reason. I don't know if it's because I'm a female or what it is, but they just like let male ACs slide so much more.
Sure.
I try not to let it get to me anymore, but before it was like really, really bad.
That's what my mom always said.
I just don't even bother anymore. Like if you don't want to believe in me, I don't really care because you're not the person that I'm gonna like grow with.
Toxic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Remove it.
It's a good mindset to have.
100%. At least you're on that path.
Yeah. I mean, what really helped me get to that point was my mentor. And when he first was talking to me, he was going to the SOC Awards in LA, and he was nominated.
You went to that, didn't you?
I did.
That was awesome.
Yeah, he invited me. So
freaking sweet.
He was up for Operator of the Year for Game of Thrones.
Wow.
He didn't win.
Who won?
Damn.
It was for Mrs. Maisel.
Oh, Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah.
Or whatever. That TV show.
The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Marvelous Mrs. Yeah.
Which I don't agree.
Yeah, I mean, they're like doing basic things, right? And then you're.
I mean, how
I'm
do
not
you
gonna
compare?
talk anyone down, but like, how do you compare? It's Game of Thrones. It's
Game
like
of
action
Thrones.
scenes.
Yeah.
It's like flying around.
Yeah.
You're like you're in the fields.
It was for that
war.
dark castle fight between the zombies. Like,
specifically.
It was that episode.
I see. Okay.
So yeah, I was super sad. But like when I was invited, I was like, okay, so this is his night. I'm super nervous. So I'm like, okay, like I'm just this random girl from Arizona coming here only for him.
Sure.
So like, don't talk to him at all. Like be a fly on the wall kind of thing. Cause it's his night. And it was my first red carpet event. I didn't want to be
awesome.
like in the way or do anything weird.
But you met a lot of people, huh?
As soon as I got there, he saw me from like, as soon as I walked in the room, he was like, Kayla, come here. And the entire room of like legends looked at me and like watched me walk through. It was like one of those like,
well, yeah, you're in a movie. Totally.
I was like, okay, there's no fly on the wall moment right now.
Whoa. That's
and
cool.
The group that he was standing with was the DP of Game of Thrones, the Steadicam operator of Jaws, and the guy who DP'd 3 of the Harry Potter movies.
Jesus. So some heavy hitters in there.
Yeah. And when I walked up to them, I was like, hi, I'm Kayla. Like, and they were like, we need to know everything about you. Like, what are you doing and all this stuff? And I was like, why is this about me? Like, why?
Sure.
And so that was a moment where I was like, okay, how many people in Arizona are standing in this room with these people?
0.
And like the fact that these guys want to know about me just showed like that I do belong here, 100%. And that the real legends, the really good people won't judge me at all. And that I was like super invited.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome.
So that was like life changing for me.
That's
for
freaking
sure.
awesome.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So now you got to go out there, kick ass, show them what you're really made of, and then all is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So the plan is to go out there for 3 years, come back to Arizona.
Nice.
Yeah. Hopefully by that time.
Or not.
Easy. Well, or not. But I love Arizona.
I know. It is a good
like if
place.
I could stay here forever and work on movies, that's the goal.
Great.
Well,
we'll see what happens. Who knows?
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
I think in like 5 years we might be on the map.
Might be in a better position.
Yeah.
It's been
Hopefully
changing
so.
rapidly since we've been here in the past 3 years.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
with the work that's been coming in. COVID changed a lot too.
It did.
Because we were open. We did a lot of big commercials.
That's cool.
Ferrari,
Yeah, that's
Lexus,
true.
all this stuff came in here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's changing, but that's freaking awesome. You should be proud of yourself and just keep kicking ass. And
I'm gonna try.
yeah, I know, no doubt. That's great. But well, I appreciate you coming on. I think we'll probably just wrap it up. And,
Yeah, thanks for having me.
we look forward to seeing you in UK and send us a photo when you're on freaking whatever next movie it
I
is.
will, yeah.
Let's
Send us
Transformers
a
8.
photo next to the Eiffel Tower next time you're over there. It's just something that John would be like.
Let's
Send me a photo next to
let's wrap it up with
the guys that wear the big head things.
the palace guards.
Yeah, the palace guards.
Yeah.
Let's poke them.
Let's
I will.
wrap it
No,
up.
I would get arrested.
Yeah, I know. You can't touch them. I get it. I've been next to them too.
Let's
They're weird.
wrap it up. If you had one piece of advice for an aspiring female
Yeah.
to get into the industry and go after something, what, having your experience now and kind of what you've gone through and what you've learned in a Spark Notes version, what would you offer them?
I would say yes to everything and try not to take anything personally. There are going to be guys that will attack you on every job you get on in every department. And just like move through it as like it's on them rather than anything that you're doing wrong. And most of the time we're going to be one of the only females on set, and look at yourself as a pioneer yourself, because it's still new.
Yeah.
We're still like, it's yeah.
For sure.
We're literally just the only females on set, so we're the ones paving the way. And
That's
to be
awesome.
proud of yourself, the fact that you're even there.
Yeah, it's a kick-ass mentality.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's facts.
John, that's facts.
That's facts.
Yeah.
Love
I
that.
keep forgetting that's there.
Awesome. All right. Well,
Hell yeah.
plug the socials.
Yeah.
Let people know where they can find you.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Really the only one that you guys need to see is Imaginarium on Instagram.
Cool.
It's spelled with an E.
It'll be in the bio.
Yeah.
We'll put it up there and stuff. But yeah, give her a follow. And watch her next time she's out there kicking ass in the UK or maybe kicking ass in Arizona.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right,
Thank you so
we'll
much.
see you on the next-
Thanks, guys.